I wanted to do this video to address space clearing. I can do space clearing long distance. If someone sends me a picture of a space, I can look at the space and see if there's lower entities in there. I can see stagnation and energy. I can often see what's happened in the space previously. This is one of the most important things I can tell you about spaces. You have to clear them. Even if you're buying a new home, the energy of the construction workers are in your new home. So clearing spaces is important, especially if you're not comfortable in the space or you're experiencing things that you don't necessarily want to experience in the space. So as I said, I'm able to do that for people. I can also get just the address of a place and tune into the address. No, I don't Google it. Everything has an energetic footprint, so I can actually tune in, and anyone that's contacted me about doing this, it's just something that I offer. So yes, I can do space clearing long distance just by tuning in and looking at the space through a picture, and I can clear it. But if you want to do it yourself, and I recommend people do this very regularly, and I've talked about it before with my clients and also on my Facebook page, is using sage. I prefer loose leaf sage, and I like white sage. I don't particularly like the smell of sage, but it is effective. It does work. Okay, so this is, and I've posted pictures of this before, but this is the sage that I use. It's loose leaf sage. And the reason that I like loose leaf sage is because it lasts longer, and I can just take one little leaf and I can get a lot of smoke off of just one little leaf. And the smoke is what clears and cleanses. This is similar to what some religious affiliations recommend in terms of anointing a place or praying over it. And those things work too, but sometimes I'll get people contact me and they say they've done that. They're afraid in the space, or they can't sleep in the space, or whatever the case may be. So I always recommend sage. I also sage people. I sage myself. I sage animals. I sage plants. I'll really sage anything that I feel is murky. Okay, so this is the way you would sage something. You take the leaf, or you can get wands, and that'll just be a bunch of sage packed into a wand that's tied. Either one works. I prefer the loose leaf because I can get a lot more use out of it. It lasts longer, and they're easy to give to people or just carry around. So this is my preference, but you know, find out what works for you. Okay, so this is all you do. You just light the sage, and then you see it's lit, blow it out, and you see it creates smoke. See if you can see the smoke. Alright, and so then all I do is, like, this is my cup, but just pretend this is like a person or something you want to sage. All I do is just run it around the perimeter of the person or the object. You can even do this for crystals, clearing crystals, because if you buy a crystal at a store, when you buy it, it has the energy of everybody that touched it. And this is even for objects that you bring into your home. And I know it really is not scary, but it's just if you notice things going on, or you're uncomfortable or something's weird, it's time to sage. So anyway, same thing with crystals. You just run the smoke around it. And really that's it. And so one of the things that I need to mention is that the sage drops embers. So you don't want to walk around your house and catch your carpet on fire. I always carry something with me under the sage. This is just a little candle bowl, but you can use anything that's not going to catch on fire. I've used bowls from the house before, glass bowls, but anything like that. I've even used tinfoil before if I didn't have anything else, holding tinfoil under it. So that is how you sage. I told y'all it was easy. I get a lot of questions about saging, and you can Google it, or you can look on YouTube. There's lots of different people show different ways of using sage, but in a nutshell, that's how you use sage. I recommend using sage anytime you feel weighed down, yucky, stressed out. If you feel negative emotions and you know they're not yours, it's time to sage. I sage, like I said, animals if they're acting crazy. I'll sage animals, and places. So that's the reason and the point that you would use sage. It's a tool that you can use, especially if you don't want to contact someone else for a service and ask them to clear something. It's something easy that you can do. It's inexpensive. I mean, this whole bag of sage was $5, and this is a lot of sage. It'll last me a long time. So there's a tool for your toolbox.